Tonight's tale involves someone watching the house. In June 2014, Maria and Dirk Broaddus and their 3 children were getting ready to move into their new home. They claimed that this was their dream home, and it was located just a couple of blocks away from Maria's childhood home in one of the 30th safest cities in the United States. 3 days after closing the sale, before the Broaddus family had even begun to move in, a letter arrived in their new mailbox. The letter was addressed to the new owner. It stated, "Dearest new neighbor, we are welcoming you to our new neighborhood. How did you end up here?" is what it says. It stated, 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now and is approaching its 110th birthday. I have been put in charge to watch your house. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s. My father watched the house in the 1960s. Now it's my time. Who am I? This is what the letter is saying. It says, there are hundreds and hundreds of cars that drive by 657 Boulevard each day. Maybe I am one. Look at all the windows you see out of 657 Boulevard. Maybe I'm in one. Look at any of the many windows and all the people who stroll by every day at 657 Boulevard. Maybe I am one. The letter also mentioned specifics about the Broaddus family. Like, do you have children? I have seen them. So far, I think that you have 3, is what I counted. Do you still fill the house with a young blood's request? It would be better for me if you had a child. Was your old house too small for your growing family? Or was it greed that brings me to your children? Once I know their names, I will call them and draw them to me, is what the letter says. And at the bottom is signed, The Watcher. After receiving the letter, the Broaddus family reached out to the previous owner who had sold them the house, John and Andrea Woods. They stated that during the 23 years of living at this address, they had never received a letter like that, except once a few days before they were getting ready to move out of the house. The Woods family also stated that they had never felt watched in over the 2 decades that they lived there. In fact, they never needed to lock the doors at night, they stated. While they thought that the note was odd, they threw the note away without much concern. But still, the families went to the police with the letter and an investigation was opened. The police warned the families not to tell anyone about these letters, including their neighbors, who are now all suspects. 2 weeks later, even though the Broaddus family still hadn't moved in, they received another letter with even more chilling specifics about their family, including the children's birth, the order of their birth, and their nicknames. The watcher also asked, will the children sleep in the attic, or will you all sleep on the 2nd floor? Who has the bedrooms facing the streets? I will know as soon as you move in. It will help me to know who's in which bedroom, he stated. Then I can plan better, is what the letter said. Several weeks later, the Broaddus family had just put their moving plans on hold as a 3rd letter arrived saying, where have you gone to? 657 Boulevard is missing you. But by 2014, the case had stalled. There were no trails or mental effects that were taking toll on the Broaddus family about this letter. There were no fingerprints or no way to place someone at the scene of the crime. It was only 6 months after they received the letter that they decided that they would just sell the home. 657 Boulevard has been sold and is currently off the market, while the watcher's identity still remains a mystery.